That felt real nice. There's been an energy level set that I am not prepared to match. So. Also, man, I just want a big cardboard hand so bad. I didn't know it until moments ago.
I had that one actually.
Yeah. I knew that would happen, and I can't take it home. Probably could. Do it. My wife won't be that mad about it. Hi. Hello. This is the speed that I go. Thank you all for coming. Happy New Year. It's been an interesting year overall. For me specifically, a couple things happened. I went to Edinburgh in August for the festival there. That was a fun time. Thanks, sure. Nice. Yeah, they agreed to let me pay them a bunch of money to do a show there. It's an interesting place. If you've never heard of it or been, it's not just comedy there. There's so many different like circus and music and other types of performance there, and they're all sort of competing for everyone's eyeballs at the same time. And I always think that stand-up qualifies as an art form until it goes up against any other art form. I realized it's like I went to a show. It was a variety show that I went to see. It was late at night, and this guy came on stage, and he had no shirt on, a very muscular man. Had a kilt, and he just did a bunch of whip stuff, and I was like, nice, good job. And then he took his kilt off, had nothing underneath, except for a very, very large erect penis, too large if I'm being honest. Also definitely too erect. There's something going on. And then he doesn't like whips that much. And then he started doing fire breathing, nude, and at the end, blew fire onto his penis. And the next day, I had to go out and like try to get people to come to my show. It's talking. It's just me talking. Sometimes I shift my weight from one leg to the other. Ooh. My penis isn't even a little on fire. That guy went on first on the variety show because he had to go to another show, presumably to do the fire penis thing again. I don't think he has another show that he's doing some like really introspective piece. It's like, it turns out the real fire penis is society. I didn't really enjoy watching him because I was just like, you gotta be nicer to your penis, man. I'm almost positive it doesn't want to be on fire. The other main thing that happened this year for me is that I went vegetarian for the first time. It's been almost the whole year that I did it. Yeah, sure, nice. I feel like if you hear people say that they're vegetarian, you can secretly picture them in a big T-shirt that says "I love cheese." I feel like that's the subtext there. That's how good cheese is. That there's like a whole subsection of humanity that we all recognize that exists. That's just like, yeah, no, it's just because that's how good cheese is. We can never give up cheese. There's like a real power ranking of like the 5 foods that are vegetarian but not vegan, and up at the top, number 1 with a bullet is cheese and dairy in general. Nice job, cows. You got a good side hustle going. Well done. Even if we stopped eating meat, we'd be like, well, we still need all of the cows, right? Number 2, a little bit lower, is eggs. Eggs are fine. I don't love eggs, but they're in a lot of things that I do love. They're like Josh Gad, if that makes sense. Number 3, a little bit further down, is honey, which honey's fine. Also, vegans, just eat honey. Who cares? If bees could talk, they'd be like, we made too much honey. You should have some. You're so skinny, manja. And then like a cliff down to number 4, which is hooves, like the last thing at the bottom, turning those back into horses. I don't think it's totally, like, some people are like, oh, I just don't think I could eat anything that I couldn't kill myself, and I don't think that's too restrictive. That's way too restrictive for me. I can't kill and eat a pineapple. Like, I need someone else to do the first part for me while I look the other way. And then also, like, I'm not even sure it's ethical to eat plants. Like, plants are going to be so mad when they find out that we eat all their fruit and then don't poop on the ground. Like, that's the whole deal. That's why they make all the fruit. And we do nothing with it. We put it in a closed plumbing system. They're just going to be mad. I've been trying to come up with trying to think of a joke that is adjacent to the theme, and this one qualifies, I think, based on what I've seen tonight. This one qualifies, at the end at least. I've been thinking about last words a lot lately, and I think it's important to have good last words if you can do it. Seems fun. I think the trick to having really good last words is to make sure that you die, like right away after they happen, because otherwise you have to just like live in silence for potentially years, or you just have to keep saying the thing over and over and over again, like at the end of everything, where like eventually your grandkids are like, why do you keep saying nobody out pizzas the hut? Like, are you sponsored by said hut? And you're like, no, this is 30 years ago. I thought I was going to die one time, and now I'm trapped. Also, nobody out pizzas the hut. I think my favorite last words that I can think of are Giles Corey, if anybody knows him. He was nice. He was in the witch trials in Salem, those ones, and he was. They were like, "You're a witch," and he was like, No thanks. But they were pretty sure about it. And so they started putting rocks on him over and over, and they were pressing him to death. They just kept like throwing another rock on, and then be like, do you have anything you want to say about how you're a witch? And then his last words were just, he kept saying, more weight, over and over again to them, which rules. Yeah. And then also he died, like right then, which is smart, because I just pictured a thing where they eventually put one too many on, and he's just like, ah, fuck, my balls, and then he dies. And it's just not as quotable overall. No one's embroidering that into a pillow. I don't think they're embroidering more weight into a pillow either, but I also learned that Roald Dahl, a comic after a show told me that Roald Dahl, his last words, he was like an old guy about to die, and all his family were around him, and he was like, it's so nice to be surrounded by all your loved ones on such a beautiful day, or something to that effect. And then he like passed out, and they thought that he was unconscious, and so the nurse went to give him a shot, and as the needle went, he just went, ah, fuck, and then he died. And I was like, okay, exactly the joke that I wrote. Roald Dahl already did it, super. I need to probably leave. Let's do another joke. And then goodbye.
Last word.
I'm mad I didn't think of that myself. Which is not usually true when people yell things at me. It's a nice one. I've slowly, since pandemic, been weaning myself off of reality television. I think I'm finally free of the Bachelor loop overall, where they give you like someone from the last show as the start of the new season, and you're like, oh, fine, again. Finally, they put someone boring enough that I hated from the previous season as the start of the next one. And I was like, am I finally free? Do I finally get to be done with this? And yeah, I'm sticking to just Love is Blind, and that's it. I tried watching an episode of The Golden Bachelor, and I had to shut it off because the stakes were too high. It was a very stressful show to watch. Overall, first off, everybody on the show knows who they are already, and that's not what I look for in my reality television. Is a bunch of people who are emotionally aware, and it was yeah, maybe I'll find love on this, and that's okay. And if not, that's okay too. I'll just go die. And weird, stakes seem higher for me than for you, interestingly. But then also, anytime anything good happened, they would just in this one episode that I watched, they'd kissed at the first date. And the lady talking to the camera was just my heart is beating so fast. And I was go to the hospital. It's too stressful for you guys to have exciting things happen right now. You're I think I'm in love. I just taste pennies. Is this what love is? Is how you taste this penny? All right, gotta go. Thanks everyone. Bye. Happy New Year. Thanks.